Tom Daley has successfully completed his grueling 290-mile 4-day Hell of a Homecoming Red Nose Day challenge. The Olympic diver, 27, made it home to a rapturous hero's welcome on Thursday evening at Smeaton's Tower, Plymouth Hoe. The endurance challenge saw him tackle a grueling journey from London to the iconic tower by foot, water, boat and bike, to raise money for comic relief. Hundreds of supporters, family and friends gathered to cheer Tom over the finish line. Tom endured one of the toughest weeks of his sporting career, all to raise as much money as possible to help change lives in the UK and around the world. Over the past 4 days, Tom has pushed his body to the limit as he began the journey on Monday, leaving the London Aquatics Centre in Stratford for a 9.5 kilometres road to Tower Pier, where he overturned his boat in the River Thames. He has cycled over 290 miles in total, battling through 40 mph winds and relentless rain that at one point pushed him off his bike, took on his first ever open water swim in 5.2-degree water, struggling against strong winds. Tom said, "After my 130-mile cycle yesterday, I really thought I had reached breaking point. The last 11 miles were all uphill with a 20-degree incline, my legs were giving up and I was exhausted from over 15 hours on the bike. It is definitely the toughest thing I've ever had to put my body through. Today's run will have the most impact on my body." Tom was joined by Eddie Izzard on Thursday for a portion of his run from Bovey Castle to Plymouth in his final day of the challenge. The star embraced the comedian, 60, as they parted ways before Tom went on to complete the challenge. Tom braved the freezing temperatures as he ran in black leggings and a branded comic relief jacket and baseball cap. Eddie sported patterned leggings and a bright blue soft shell jacket which was paired with a white baseball cap. The pair posed for a slew of snaps and enjoyed a sweet embrace before Tom continued on his journey to the finish line. Over the last 4 days Tom swam in cold, open waters, cycled some of the nation's toughest routes, rode down the Thames and completed an ultramarathon as he made his way back home. On Wednesday, Tom swam an incredible 1,600 meters in the freezing cold open water. He battled the elements to complete the swim in the Redgrave and Pinsent Lake in Reading. Tom said, "As I was getting into the water, I was feeling as ready as I'll ever be, but the idea of swimming such a long distance in water that was 5.2 degrees was extremely daunting. Halfway round the lake, I was going into the wind and it really picked up. It took me a lot longer to complete the second half. Every time I was doing a stroke, it felt like I wasn't getting anywhere, which was so frustrating. But I just had to keep going. When I got to the finish line, it was just a relief to be out of the cold water and then rushed into the warm." Supporting him from the sidelines was Paralympic swimming gold medalist Tally Simmons, who said she was blown away with his efforts. She added, "For Tom to do that swim is phenomenal. He didn't stop, he just kept on going. I was quite impressed with his stroke too, he's a diver, but that stroke of his, that freestyle stroke was phenomenal. To see him achieve that is absolutely amazing." His swimming trainer Carrie Ann earlier said that for open water swimming, if the temperature is below 16 degrees the event gets cancelled. For this it was less than 6 degrees. Tom's endurance challenge continues with a 62-mile cycle to the Keys Swimming and Diving Complex in Southampton, where his diving career began in 2003. He said, "I am feeling exhausted and tired, and now I have to get back on the bike to cycle to Southampton. It's going to take a lot for me to get back out there and keep going, but I am going to do it because it's worth it and it's for a good cause." On Monday, Tom faced freezing temperatures rowing, and capsizing, on the River Thames before cycling 60 miles from the Tower of London, to Reading. He embarked on the first leg of his journey at 7 a.m. on Monday, when he left the Aquatics Centre in Stratford for a 6-mile row to Tower Pier. The Aquatics Centre is a place close to Tom's heart, as it is not only where he won his first Olympic medal in 2012 but also where his father's ashes are placed at the foot of the diving board. The Olympic gold medalist faced wind and rain during this morning's row and at one point lost his nerve and capsized into the freezing Thames. Tom said, "The rowing is the most technical part. I've found the rowing particularly difficult, and I did fall in quite soon after starting out on the Thames. I was looking out at the Thames and thought it looked horrible, the waves were going wild, and the winds were blowing. If I'm honest, I didn't know if I was going to make it to Tower Bridge, but I did my best." After facing freezing temperatures and high winds on the River Thames this morning, a quick hit change saw Tom jump on his bike and set off on a 60-mile cycle from the Tower of London to Reading. He went on, "I've done it. Day one is complete." Davina said, "Enjoy it today because the weather doesn't look good for the rest of the week, but it's been a wet one today. I've also heard there could be 40 miles per hour winds tomorrow or the next day, and we've had weather warnings, so tomorrow is going to be cold." On open water swimming tomorrow morning, Tom said, "The one thing that I get to do when I've trained indoor swimming pools is doing laps in a pool, so just doing one side to the other and you can break it up. But when it's from one side of a rowing lake to the other, it's just one straight shot. So, it's going to be difficult." Tom added, "The turnout of people coming out to say hello and show their support is really special, it's quite surreal. It's really keeping me going when I need it most." Comic Relief Challenge veteran Davina McCall and Tom's diving partner Maddie Lee, with whom he won gold at the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games, were both present to wave him off on his challenge. Davina, 54, said, "Watching Tom this morning has made me relive my Comic Relief Challenge, it has brought back so many memories. I remember the excitement and trepidation and how being out on the road, or water, is never like it is in your training." Maddie, 23, asked the British public to get behind his diving partner, saying, "I wish Tom the best of luck and am so proud of the amazing challenge he's undertaking and hope the great British public get behind him and offer their support in the same way they did with us in the Tokyo 2020 Olympics." Daley's challenging journey will be documented for a special BBC One and iPlayer documentary airing in March, ahead of the return of Comic Relief's Red Nose Day on March 18.